back. That wasn't too bad. There were still some hiccups, but not too bad, not too shabby. So I'm just gonna keep playing. It's a great day. It's not hot out here yet. I don't really think it's gonna get hot. It says here it's 80, but maybe because it was laying down. See, 80. But it's not humid. God, if you play the didgeridoo while it's humid, it is so much harder. Um, there's this one note that I do where basically I allow the instrument to run its course through my full body. I'll be standing up while I do it. I've done them live streaming a few times. Fortunately, it wasn't the recording wasn't working and stuff. I had issues, so I'm just doing this for a little while. I'm gonna get some content back up. But so with that note, for one, I use my entire body. I use my body weight. I use my arms. I use it all in synchronicity, like as if you were dancing, like that, right? Um, but then I also, after I'm really warmed up, I let the air flow in and out of my lungs, and it takes that all the way through my vocal cords. And keep in mind, you can hurt yourself playing the didgeridoo in various ways. Certain things can happen. I've heard people that collapse lungs, so just be careful. Just get really good at it. Um, One time, I'll do a concentration note, so y'all know what I'm talking about after this. But one time I was concentrating a note, and it's one of the methods that I use to hit different tiers of sound, get stronger pitches, like alter frequencies, make the sound shoot off in a room, and do all this really cool magician-like stuff. You'd really think aliens are coming down, honestly. People have started to freak out. Um, but yeah, one time I concentrated too hard, and like how I hold my hand, I keep it just while I'm looping it down here. Generally, I'm keeping it firm right here. Although as I've gotten better, I'm able to do a circular breath, hold it down here, but also keep my lips taut enough to where that doesn't happen, where I don't slip. Well, anyways, I slipped, and it was such a strong. It was like the strongest I've ever gotten it. And I don't know if it was actually because I slipped or because it got too strong. I don't really want to try it again because I heard both my eardrums pop. It was like bah, like firecracker in both ears, and I was like, just concussed. It was pretty great actually. So I was like, dang, this thing really is like a combustion engine. That's one thing that I compare it to. I compare it to a black hole as well. It's very similar with the notes that I do specifically. So to me, it's like the universe had a plan, and however you perceive that gives me a little bit of a weird feeling. But this instrument has all the answers in it if you know how to ask it. It's very weird. You have to speak indigenous, the didgeridoo, the language of the do. You got to do the do. Still want to do a Mountain Dew commercial. All right, hold on. We're gonna get at it. Give it a little bit more space. Oh, I turned the echo up through recording that too. Now it's back down. So I don't know. You probably were like, "Oh my God, what is he?" Yeah, that's on the mic. All right, so we're gonna do a concentration. So I just have some fun with it. Weirdly, I do concentrations when I'm stoned a lot better. I hear the pitches and the frequencies. It's embedded. We're gonna try it again though. And usually I do concentrations on the ground, but you're not gonna be able to hear that. Alright, so I started that one out with the concentration. That was a good one. I had a lot of control over it. Um, it'd be easier if I was standing up. Usually it will take me a good month of doing it to get back in the warm up of keeping my entire body in synchronicity. Um, mainly because I do that mainly because it gives me a lot more control. You wouldn't think that you can use your body for the didgeridoo. However, from the stuff, there's like pictographs, I guess that's what it's called, like on caves and stuff, where it was known by a stance. You would see somebody doing a certain stance with the didgeridoo, and as I practiced that, I found out that it actually does have somewhat of an effect. And I was like, well, they're holding it. I tried it like holding it in the stance that they were at, but I believe they were using their body with it. Then, as I started to dig deeper, I found out that that is really what's going on. Um, there's wind catch and stuff. Like if I get the perfect wind, I've tried fans and everything. It doesn't really work. Um, I don't, I don't know. Maybe if it was a giant wind funnel fan, like the size of a room or something, and it was all around me. But even then, it has to be so low for me to be able to match it. Though, once again, you're probably just completely confused. It is just the most intricate instrument that I have ever ran across. This one is PVC. People say, PVC's for beginners for the didgeridoo, but as myself, this is the one I've played longest. I've played wooden didgeridoos, dense ones, light ones, fiberglass, different thickness of PVC. This one is like a really good combination. Um, if you're interested in getting one, I can give you the link of where you can order it. I would like to do something with that though, because I always have the fear, man, if they go out of business, this type of didgeridoo will be gone, and this will be my only one to do my unique sounds. Scary stuff, but I've had it something close to 15 years now, like maybe 13 or 14, I'm not exactly sure. Um, but yeah, um, an expert can do expert maneuvers on a um, beginner instrument, right? So on like a guitar or whatever, or ukulele, however all that works. I don't play the guitar, but I would like to. But I have these short, stubby fingers and arthritis already, even though I'm young. It's terrible. But this works. I don't need my fingers really, so it's fine. So yeah, let's move this back. What can I do for you guys? I want to do like a lot of variations of different sounds. We're just gonna go at it. Let's see if I can bounce one off the brick on onto the mic. one more thing. So while I'm warming up on the didgeridoo, the thing is, I just talked for 10 minutes explaining it. The thing is, while I'm warming up, it can take me, a good 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes 15 minutes. It's kind of like how awake your body is. If I play the didgeridoo first thing in the morning, like I slept basically in this chair, and I was like, and just started playing. You can't really do anything. You have to be awake. I acknowledge that in a lot of different ways now. Actually, especially after doing that. So the weird part is, say I play the didgeridoo straight for an hour and I warm up, right? I can get different pockets to capture sound, use them all to mash up, get them to do like their dance inside the instrument, all that. I really gotta be in that state of mind to do it. But my point is, my lips, they go numb. My tongue, they go numb. If I sit there and play 6 hours straight and I play through the numb lips and I just do notes that I know how to do that, my entire body goes numb. Okay? Because it's nothing but vibrations. When you first start playing, and actually this is really weird to do, I don't necessarily suggest doing it a lot, but once is probably okay. Hold a note on the didgeridoo, right? Because, okay, you remember when you first start playing, right? If you play the didgeridoo, when you first start playing, you feel like your skull is rattling and like your eyes are, and everything's like, right? But as you get used to it, you just kind of like perceive past it. Look at a screen, like a computer screen, something that like this iPad screen, or for me it was a TV when I first did it by accident. It starts getting all wavy and stuff, and it's like, really, it will hurt if you. I was like, that's kind of cool, and I kept doing it, and it just kind of hurt. But to do it once, just like after, because I pushed it too far, it's like it is still doing it. That was like my confirmation that it is still like doing it. Like I knew it was, but I was like, but how do I actually know? Because I haven't felt that. I only remember it as talking about it when I first started playing. So it's pretty weird. I'm actually gonna try it and see if it actually will work just on the screen. I want to confirm, but I did off a screensaver on my television, and it was very colorful and green. It was pretty weird. All right, here we go. However, it's not a still screen. I will be moving in it. So I'm going to hold it. We're just going to hold a note. I should really be holding a note too before I warm up. Okay, that it had a little bit of the effect. I got to a note that has more vibrations. This is actually one trick that I used. If I could look at the screen, that actually helped me channel it. Actually, I would look at the screen. Oh, let me say this first. It didn't quite do it for this, but it did start to do a little bit. I think maybe because the colors weren't so bright, it wasn't so large, and I'm playing outside, so there's significantly less vibrations. But because the vibrations get in the way of each other, you can get your notes carry further. You have more control. What was I saying after that? So one thing that I did, and this was inside, mind you, and it's harder to hold it, as I was just saying. Inside, so you have a lot of pressure and everything, and then the notes are bouncing off and catching, which is cool. You can shoot a note off of something on the didgeridoo in a room, catch it back through, change the frequency because it will like mash up, right? Like conjoin, and then use that inside. Bizarre instrument, very, very weird. It'd be like a black hole eating its tail or something. If there is one, it probably has one. We just can't see it. Is that weird? You don't ever get to see the back of the black hole, but we know it's there. Concave, convex, to be able to see in the eyeball. Getting somewhere with that, right? But see, like playing the didgeridoo and me relating it to a black hole, I'm like, yes, this tells me that there is an end to it, but where does it go? We can't ever see it, right? So my theory is multiverse is that there's black hole, and then like it sucks stuff up, puts it into another dimension, and then we have another one that puts stuff into this dimension and just kind of like maybe I don't know. That kind of makes a lot of sense. So here we go. We're gonna do another one. I know I just talked a lot. I'll do sessions. I'll label them up as strictly playing sessions or something like that, so you guys can put on a loop or whatever. A lot of this is I'm documenting stuff, noting it for myself, noting it for others, because it is hard to keep track of it. There's no way to write notes down, so I need to be doing this. I was doing this at one point and then kind of stopped. So somebody said, "Why don't you circular breathe using your nose? You'd be able to hold notes longer and everything." I don't really like that. It gives me a headache the more I try it, so I don't do it. Um, and one of the things is, I have circular breathe. I do. There's like 4 different ways you can circular breathe. One like this, right? Pushing in and out, right? Then there's the tongue. I hold the note on my tongue, and then I manipulate it. I'm hitting the frequency. You'll catch me while I'm doing synchronicities. I'll do like stifles where they'll be in and out, same time, stuff like that. This is how you change the frequency a lot and get the pitch and everything, all that stuff I need to go to school for to really understand one day. Tell you guys, almost 15 years of being self-taught in something is a very long time. And it starts to get all mashed up. But what was I saying? Frequencies, pitch, frequency. There's like 4 different methods. You can inhale through your nose as you play and hold the note. While usually it's like the note is going past your throat, so you have to let the note out, quickly inhale, and then hold it. A lot of people who do that, the note will stop and pause in between. I just like to catch my breath and everything too. So that's one way, right? Because the air is already moving right here. You can't resist it. I've tried that so many times, but I've done it once, like really just once, where I had the note where it was like bouncing enough to where I kept it going while I took my breath and caught back to it. But so there's like 4 methods that I know of for circular breathing. One like this. 2, like that off your tongue. Hold the note on your tongue. Right? And then if you're going like this, right? You can inhale through the instrument, like as I was saying. I'll use my lungs. That's like one of my bigger ways of circular breathing. I've held one of these really strong notes so for those of you who don't know, and even if you do know, if you're aware, when you're playing a didgeridoo, so much of the control is like your vocal cords, but it's how much air you have to control it as well, right? So I let out bursts for certain things at certain times to like jump the note around and craft it. But when I do that, I'm getting rid of my air supply, and eventually my lungs are just like running out. This way, imagine being able to, but it's weird because you are inhaling through the instrument and all the dust and stuff that builds up. I wash mine out and stuff, but it is a little bit weird. I have been like, oh, I don't know what that was. One time it was a spider. Oh god. Yeah, I did that. I was like, what was that? I'm like, oh, I feel it crawling around. I don't know if I was just paranoid, but I've found them in there many times. Usually a really small spider likes to hide in there, and it went down my throat. Yeah, it's okay. You got to be a savage for this instrument, really. If you really wanna get to this instrument, you're probably. Sometimes I'll just be sitting there and I'll be like really lit, and I'll be like, man, the didgeridoo catches protein. That's so wrong. It is so wrong. It's gonna be on stand up. Don't worry about that. I'm working on a lot of crafts right now to figure out. I have a book in there right now. I decided to take a journal because now it's like I've had it all on one page of syntax. Like, okay, I got to spread this out, and it's not going to be like barely explaining it. It's going to be like, this is the joke, this is the punchline. It's going to be like cha for each one, right, or something of that nature. So I can really get the good stuff. But yeah, weird thoughts. Here we go. You're like, oh my god, he's crazy. How many people are like, he aspires to didgeridoo? Kill. Done. You just done with the stream, or it's done with the video. You're like, I like it. I did it, and I survived, and it is a great content for stand-up. You know, I'm a wild one. It's okay. Alright, here we go. We're gonna do some off of the mouth. Well, I'm also going to use the bell to power up the mouth. I have it pointed down, angled at the floor. Like, say, here's the floor. Something like that. You can't go like that. Not really. I have, but you really can't. It'll stop it. But you can get, like, very small amount. I don't know why. I just felt like trying it. You know, weird. Doesn't really do much. But here we go. It's cool. Okay, so those of y'all who don't know, I have a puppet. I could go and grab it. I'll show it off for a minute. It's an alien puppet. One of the acts for while I'm doing the puppet, which I still haven't figured out. I have one hand, right, and I use my body for a certain note that really sounds like it's an alien landing, and like I gotta practice a lot. I really gotta get everything flowing to get this down, and I gotta be lit too. Very weird. I have to. That's why I think that my birthday's 420. This instrument is my calling. It's made by some alien angel Mother Nature hybrid. And ganja is also from an alien world, according to NASA, they believe. So, I believe that's why I'm here. So, it's time I start putting it out there more. So, and really, really put it out there. I'm going to end this stream, or end this video at 30. So, we're going to play a little bit more, and then I'm just here and do this all day. Building up content all day. And y'all are going to watch the change. So, there'll be a documentary portion of it. Watching how it affects, and see if you can start to hear it. Hopefully I can capture everything. I'll say certain things that I think that run through my head, how I'm feeling, and everything like that. Like right now, I'm feeling like my mouth is a little bit dry. However, if there's too much saliva, it can become a problem, and so there's a give and a take to everything. I like to call it dry mouth didgeridooing. If I'm sitting there playing for a really long period of time, I just push through the dry mouth up until it's like it hurts my throat. That's when I know, but then that means I've also gone too far. So I probably do need to drink something, but I don't know. Don't listen to me, but take it into question. There is a difference. I'm trying to figure it all out. That'll never happen. If I have to figure out 100% of this instrument and every other variation of it in existence, I think that's the definition of infinite, which is a black hole. At least the closest thing to we can really like imagine the creation of infinity, or ever growing infinity. because the universe is always expanding and stuff. Here we go. See what happened? Just go on for hours trying to rationalize it and be like, okay, I understand it. Now I can do that. No, no. 1%, guys. 1%. And I kid you not, I do notes I've never heard anywhere else. I've looked. People have gotten close. Um, ish. Ish, like a portion of it. I'm like, oh, okay. I've shown people portions of it. But all the way down to the T, for what I know right now, I'm the only one on this planet currently that has done this. And you're not even to, I'm at like, maybe like 5% of what I can do right now. So, but if you're like, man, that's amazing, just really imagine that times like 20 or 100. I don't even know. I'm probably downplaying it. Just certain things I've played, and I just had to sit there, and I was just like, I think I was just in heaven. All right, here we go. We're gonna do a little bit more. Can't just talk about it the entire time. All right, you guys want a stifle? All right, let's try and get a stifle. My mouth is, my tongue and everything is starting to get a little bit numb. Once my tongue goes numb, I can't hit concentrations. I can't hold a note on the tip of my tongue because I can't find it and I can't resist it. It's very weird. To maintain it, I need to have a certain amount, like holding your tongue in place. Not like or touch your I can imagine. Let's see if I can actually show you. Wait. Okay, imagine if my tongue was sticking out, and my head was moving, but my tongue was still. That is basically what I'm doing in there, because I have so much pressure and resistance, and there's so much flow going. It makes it easier. Those are ghost notes. I want to get to some real ghost notes. Now I can do ghost notes off of countering concentration, but it makes my tongue go numb really fast, which is good. I actually did that a lot, and then over the years, even if I don't play for a certain period of time, like maybe a month, just really taking a break and never really crossed my mind, I wasn't curious about anything, it still has this effect to where, like, I've built up a natural resistance, like a tolerance to the vibrations and to how numb everything ends up getting. Very weird. Here we go. We're gonna do another one. Ah, God, this pollen. That was pretty cool. I think a lot of that came off the bell, though. But it's for me, at least. So what I did there, that's what I call a stifle. I'm using two methods of circular breathing. I'm using this, then as I'm going in and out, in and out, in and out. While a lot of times I'll sync my tongue up with my hand and go dun, 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 and that adds another layer to the note. Then there's different ways you can do. You can kind of do like that, like rather than right, synced up, but like kind of like that. This is countering it. And I've done some really cool ones with that. All the stuff that I'm talking about, there are so many variations to it. I still, after over a decade, have gotten to a point of being like, wow, I found this note, and I believe there is somewhere around at least 100 variations of it that I can not even comprehend. Like, I can comprehend 2 or 3 of them when I get there and get everything just right. But then it's like, oh, I could have done that. I could have gotten all these pockets. I could have done all this. Infinite. Like, seriously, infinity. And beyond. Infinity and beyond. Okay, here we go. We're going to go again. curious as to what sound that sounded like because once again it was majority off the bell on the floor. I could put it down there, but every time I try and just record the bell off the floors, it overpowers this mic, other mics, condenser mics. Gonna drop this one, get a glass of water, hit that 30-minute mark, gonna do another. I'll be back. Gonna have to quality check some of it. Then I'm just gonna start uploading and then quality check as I go. Maybe take it, edit it, I don't know. Peace.